Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Let's chant some shlokas. We'll chant sixth verse, which we have already done, and then we'll go to the next one. राहु ग्रस्त दिवाकरेन्दु सदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् सन्मात्र कर्णोपसंहरणतो यो भूत् सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्तमिति प्रबोध समये यप्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमः मिथ्यन्तस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजताम् यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये Three types we approach the spiritual practice. One which is relationship oriented. We all live in the relative world, and therefore, how do we live in the relative world so that this relativity does not become a problem, an issue for us? Whether you are a grahastha or a sannyasi, all of us have to lead a life in the relative world. Now, how should we live the life? There, our scriptures tell that follow the path of dharma. Dharma is what? Like the traffic rules. Traffic rules are not meant for a particular type of people. Traffic rules for the white are different, traffic rules for the blacks are different. No. They are framed keeping in view the total population irrespective of who they are. Dharma Shastra is like that. We all lead our relative life, and therefore there are common fundamental rules with which we have to lead our life. Therefore, Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara, स्वाध्याया आन्मा प्रमदः आचार्याय प्रियं धनमाहृत्य प्रजातन्तुं मा व्यवच्छेत्सीः सत्यान्न प्रमदितव्यं धर्मान्न प्रमदितव्यं भूत्यै न प्रमदितव्यं मातृदेवो भव. These fall in the purview of spiritual life in a relative world. Now, whether we are following this or not, how do we know? What are the symptoms? The symptoms are we are not a problem for others and we do not accept others as a problem. In the language of devotion, Bhagavan Krishna says, Yasmanno dvijate loko lokanno dvijate chayaha harshamarsh bhavadvegaihi muktaha yas sachame priya. He who is not a problem for others and who doesn't take the world as a problem, he is my real devotee. This is Dharma Shastra. Majority of us mistake Dharma Shastra as a spiritual practice. No. Going for shopping, buying the stuff, bringing home is required. But that is not cooking. Similarly, Dharma Shastra is useful so that we are able to lead our life peacefully in this world. Then the second comes Upasana Shastra. In Upasana, whatever efforts we put for fulfilling our desires, they are not enough according to us. Because we want certain things, whether we deserve or we don't deserve. Then we go to the temples and ask God, manage kar lena jara. Kindly manage it. But you don't deserve it. If I have to deserve, I will go for the examination. Why I have come to you? So all those people who go to the temple, they know that they don't deserve. And yet they want it. And therefore, after every stotra, it is clearly said, Dharmarthi labe dharma, putrarthi labe putra. Therefore, they go. So, Upasana becomes basically a desire fulfilling option. The desires which we could not fulfill in the Dharma Shastra, we go to the next option, Upasana. So, like the purpose of Dharma Shastra is that we don't take the world as a problem and we are not a problem for others. Similarly, the purpose of the Upasana Shastra is our mind is made available to us. Whenever we want, for whatever length of time we want, the mind should be available to us. Our mind is never available to us. Now I am talking. But did I cover that sabji or is still open? Brahma ki sabji banao. Therefore, this Upasana Shastra is aimed at controlling the mind. So, Karmani Chitta Shuddhyartham, Aikagryatham Upasanam. Now, the third path is Moksha. Mokshartham Brahma Vijnanam. So, when we come to the Brahma Vijnanam or study of scriptures, now what is meaning of the study of the scriptures? We require some basic references on the basis of which we learn from our experiences of life. The real spiritual practice is if we are ready, able, and want to learn from our experiences, and accordingly modify, change our approach to life. That is the third approach. And therefore, first we study the scriptures, we are told what is the truth. Thereafter, now we have to apply the truth. So the truth application is called the adhyatmic or the spiritual life. And how do we do that? See, when I am taking food, whether my stomach is full or not, should I ask anybody? Prashant, please, excuse me, will you tell me whether my stomach is full or not? Now it is bursting out, full or what? So it is a subjective experience. So what will be the spiritual practice? I do not know. Then Shravanam, listen. Never study the scriptures on your own. There is nowhere mentioned study. No. Shravanam, listen. Then after listening, then thereafter Mananam, reflect. Why reflect? Because whatever we have studied or heard rather, we are still having some doubts in our mind. That is true, but how it is possible? Now reflect on it. And the reflection will lead us to this conviction that what our scriptures tell is the ultimate truth. Because we are not able to accept it, understand it, that doesn't mean it is wrong. There is something wrong in our interpretation, in our interaction. Therefore, first Shravanam, listening, followed by interaction, Mananam. So, listening is followed by interaction, Mananam. Then the third thing comes, we are able to ultimately learn from our every passing experience of the day. When we are committed to learn from the experiences of our life, then we have really stepped on the spiritual path. Otherwise, we are going away all other things. And this is what we were told in this sixth mantra. Rahu grasta divakarendu sadusho maya samachadana sanmatra karnopasamharnataha yogo sushupta puman. We are so much under the influence of the world, our experiences, our past, our present, our future. As a result, all these things are covering us. Now, be very attentive. Covering means what? Like if I keep this rubber band on my palm and now where is the rubber band? Oh, you have covered it with your palm. So covering, this we understand. The second covering. The colors and forms cover the vision. The names and forms of the ornament cover the gold. The waves cover the ocean. The ocean covers the water. Means what? When we are too much influenced and preoccupied with the colors and forms, we are indifferent to the vision. When we are too much influenced and occupied with the worldly objects, our sense organs are covered. When we are enslaved by our sense organs, then our mind is covered by the sense organs. When we are obsessed and influenced by our personal likes and dislikes, then I, the seat of discrimination, Viveka, that is covered. And when this I becomes very strong, and therefore, because of this I, the Chaitanya is covered. So simple, friends. So, what will be the spiritual practice? Here it is told, Sanmatra karanopasauharnataha yo bhut sushupta puman. In the deep sleep, what we do? We only start uncovering. First of all, we discard the worldly objects, then our sense organs, then our mind, and then ultimately the I who wanted to go to sleep, even the I has to be dropped. Yoga Vasishtha says, Yena tyajasi tatyaja. By what you have discarded the whole world? By I. I don't want this. I don't want. I want to go to sleep. I. And ultimately, I want sleep. Till such time, the I and the want is, the sleep will not begin. And when the I and the want disappears, even the satsang also makes no difference. Therefore, those who sleep in satsang, they are realized. Keep on talking. Who cares? I am already realized. Friends, this is the meaning. So, Sanmatra, pure existence only, meaning only being without becoming. Matra means only. Suppose some of you give me $1 million. Don't worry. So, how will you write the check? $1 million only, not more than that. In the same way, Sanmatra, only being without becoming. And that being without becoming is our experience of deep sleep. When we can export the deep sleep experience in the waking, we are Jivan Mukta, we are liberated. When a person is sleeping and snoring away, and another person is talking ill about him, see how he is snoring like a donkey. He will not say, "Excuse me, donkey never snore." Therefore, कोई निंदो कोई वंदो कोई कैसे कहो रे राम सांगे प्रीत बांधी होत जैसे. You are at peace with yourself. This is how this person who thus was in deep sleep and he then wakes up, then praga sapsamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhinyayate. Then he recognizes his experience that I was going through the deep sleep experience. Pratyabhijna means recognition. Or, um, do you recognize me? No, I don't recognize you. But we were together somewhere. In which life? No, in this very life. This is one of the biggest challenge for me. Just don't remember anything. If you want me to remember, there's only one technique. But I will not tell you. I will not tell you. My storage will be full. I am deleting everything. So, ya pratyabhijnayate, he remembers, he recognizes, hey, I only supported the waking, the dream, the deep sleep, but I am untouched by any one of them. So, waking and the dream doesn't add anything to me. Deep sleep and samadhi doesn't take anything away from me. But what is samsara? That worldly things they add to me. Worldly beings are problem to me. Therefore, recognizing this by analyzing our own experiences is the study of Dakshinamoorti. So this is the experience of Bhagavan Dakshinamoorti. Now we continue further in the seventh verse. The teacher tells us, Palyadishu, Jagradadishu, Tatha, Sarvasu Avasthasu Api. Who followed by a becomes va in Sanskrit. So, Balyadishu api, Balyadishwapi. So like the childhood, etc. Then Jagradadishu, the waking, dream, etc. Tatha, similarly, Sarvasu Avasthasu Api. In all the stages of our life. So what we are doing in this analysis of experience, now Balyadishu Api, now we are quietly sitting and देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिः धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. One curtain has come on me, that of the childhood, that was removed. Then second bed sheet came, that was removed. That was the teenage. Then the teenage was removed. Then the middle age came. That remained for some time. That was removed. The old age has come. That will be removed. So we have gone through 3 experiences of death. Childhood died, nothing happened. Teenage died, nothing happens to us. Middle age died, nothing happened to us. We should be expert in dying. Do you think we are not? Every moment we die. मर गए, चाय नहीं मिली. मर गए, बाथरूम नहीं मिली. Kabir ji says, die in such a manner that you don't have to die again and again. Therefore, when we are able to focus our attention on the substratum which is supporting all the experiences of our life. So, childhood has covered our divine nature, then the teenage has covered divine nature, then middle age, and now the old age. But we are the same. Nothing has changed. To come to this experience, we told you a simple technique. The technique was, do not talk about your past. Past belongs to the body, not to us. But then you also talk sometimes. Yes, I do talk. Then that past experience from which we have learned, that experience is not a burden on our mind. Because then we don't repeat that mistake. Then what is that which is a burden on the mind when we are pramadi? In Sanat Sujatiya, Sanat Kumarji tells Dhritarashtra, Pramado vai mrityum bravimi. Pramada is our ability to become efficient in repeating our mistake again and again. The same mistake again and again. Pramada. That is death. But if we learn from our experience, we will not repeat that mistake. Like in the childhood, we learned that the fire burns. We don't repeat it. No, in the childhood I must have, but I have forgotten. No, let me try again. No, once is enough. Therefore, all our past experiences, if they help us, then we don't have to repeat it. Now, what is the experiences? The one or two I will tell you. Many of us have got the habit of talking about our past, whether somebody asks or not. Like suppose we have gone yesterday to wherever we have gone. Now we go in, but then we remember. See, you know what happened? Did anybody ask you? Who asked you? It is such a powerful mantra. Who asked you? This is how we are keeping our identification with the body intact. Because past belonged to the body, not to us. We were in the past, we are in the present, we will continue in the future. Friends, Therefore, Balyadishu, in all the experiences of our life. So, what is the spiritual practice? Don't bring the past in the present. Then, Jagradadishu, the second area of learning is Jagrat, etc. Waking, dream, deep sleep, and samadhi. Therefore, this verse from Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, 15th verse, is the very heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta. Mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha. 4. Smriti, dream, jnanam, waking, apohanam, deep sleep, chakarat, samadhi. And therefore, sarvaihi vedahi, by all the scriptures, by scripture I mean clearly Veda. Don't become secular. So, sarvai vedahi aham eva vedya. What is worthy of knowing is, who is this I? Sarvaihi vedahi aham eva. Therefore, Jagradadishu, we go through the various experiences, waking, dream, deep sleep, and samadhi. To understand this, just take an example. In the space, the clouds come, thunder, rain, and go. Nothing happens to the space. Then again, another lot of clouds come. Thunder, make noise, but no rains. They also go away. Then there is night. Alaska is a very peculiar country where the sunrise happens at night. Yesterday, whole day there was no sunrise. Evening, then sunrise. अरे मैं भूल गया वहां नहीं गया. So various stages, darkness comes, goes, nothing happens to the space. And it is a clean, cloudless blue sky. By that, the space doesn't become pure. So these things apply on ourselves. We, the conscious space, Chidakasha, one cloud of waking body identification comes, goes, thunders, achieve, failure, goes away, nothing happens to conscious space, Chidakasha. Then the second cloud comes, only making noise, dreams, and that also goes, nothing happens to us. Then the deep sleep comes, goes, we don't lose anything, we don't get anything. Nothing, na kuch pana, na kuch kona. And then by mistake, samadhi sometime, Shambhavi Udra. Nothing is added. Relax, relax, relax. Therefore, what should we practice as spiritual practice after we are convinced of this? Like the space not contaminated by the contents, similarly, waking with the waking world and the waker, so also the dream, deep sleep, and samadhi do not influence or contaminate us, the conscious space. For that, what is required is we have to get rid of this notion that we are inside the body. This has to disappear. Many times, most of the sincere seekers, because they are caught up in this dumb thing called a yoga and various experiences and all that, they get buried deeper and deeper in their own ignorance. The body is in me. I am not in the body. With this foundation, you start and see the difference. Like this example I gave you, outside space, inside space. What does it mean? It means The house is in the space. The space is not in the house. I'll tell you one more experiment. This point should be clear. Then only our Dakshinamoorti is becoming meaningful to us. Imagine this bottle is empty. And if I move this bottle, empty bottle, will the space in the bottle will move? No. The space doesn't move. Now there is water in the bottle. When I am moving the bottle, the water is moving. Why? Because the space is not limited by the bottle, and therefore the bottle is in the space. But here the water is in the bottle, the water is not outside. If this is clear, then we will be very distinctly able to practice this. External air and internal air. But the connection between these two airs. Do kumbhak for half an hour. Then what will happen? No question will come. So external air also, internal air also. Friends, like a magnet, it has got its magnetic circle. If something comes, something means some iron piece, a nail, if it comes within that magnetic circle, then it is pulled. If it is outside the magnetic circle, it will not be pulled. If this example is clear, similarly, the Chetana, expression of Chaitanya in the body is called a Chetana. So this Chetana has got its field. If you can imagine, let's take, the field of Chetana, like the magnetic field, is, this according to Yoga Shastra I am telling you, this much length. This is called a Dvadashangula. Dvadashangula means like this you take 3 times 4, 4, 4. This much distance. It becomes almost this much. So, Dvadashangula, from the top, you come to this point at the end of this small finger, point that point, and from that point, keeping the same distance, draw a contour line around your body. That is the magnetic field of the Chetana in the body. So when the air comes in that magnetic field, then it is converted into Prana Shakti. And this Prana Shakti is required for maintaining life in the body. How simple it is, not difficult. Therefore, the air is outside, air is inside. Therefore, the body is in the air is not in the body. Then we go further. Any object which is known must have to be included in our mind. So the object which is known is included in the mind, but where the knowledge happens, is the knowledge happening in my hand to the phone? No. The object doesn't get knowledge. The knower gets the knowledge. And where is the knower? He is outside somewhere? No, he is inside. I know. Therefore, the mind is outside as well as inside. And therefore, the body is in the mind. Is it not our experience? When we sleep, what we do? We discard the shape and ownership of the body And therefore, in the deep sleep, there is only Chetana, but not I. In waking, I is 100%. In dream, I is 50%. In deep sleep, I is 0%. But Chetana continues. The Chetana is undivided mind. And this mind is responsible for maintaining all the functions of the body. So what we come to know, that the body is in me, but I am not in the body. Because when I is not identified with the gross body, till the I continues to exist. Then I is not identified with the dream, yet I continues to exist. When I is not identified with the deep sleep, yet continues to exist. Whether there is samadhi or no samadhi, I continue to exist. Therefore, this I cannot be inside the body, but everything is in the body. Everything is in the mind. Everything is in me. Therefore, Mai eva sakalam jatam, Mai sarvam pratishtitam, Mai sarvam layam yati, tad brahmadvayam asmya. Everything is in me. Therefore, when you are sitting quiet, instead of struggling to see this, see that, light has come, light has gone, all that thing, instead of that, immediately start playing what it is like being outside the body and being the space. Start talking to yourself. What it is like being outside the body. Outside the body means what? Body has a shape. Outside body there is no shape. Oh, good. What is that which doesn't have shape? Form. The space doesn't have. Oh, good. So what must be the experience of the space? Space supports everything, doesn't get influenced by anything. So we supported childhood, teenage, middle age, but nothing happened to me. I am the same. Space supports the modifications but doesn't get influenced by the modification. Is it not our experience? We supported the childhood, gone, but we are the same. Teenage we supported, gone, we are the same. In short, our open eye meditation will be, we are playing what it is like being gross space. Gross space is not influenced by the gross world. In the same manner, all the possessions of this world will not bother us. Then we are playing the space. Then after we graduate from here, we come to the mind space. Contents of the minds are thoughts. All thoughts are supported, good and bad. Therefore, no thought ever influences the mind space. So what will be the experience? Experience is mind only creates relations. So no relation will be a problem for us. Because we don't take any relation seriously. So we have graduated from the gross space to the mind space. Then from there we graduate, we come to the Chidakasha conscious space. So what is the conscious space? In the waking, waker is born. When the waking is old, over where the waker has gone. In the dream, dreamer was born. When the dream is over, where the dreamer has gone. When I got married, husband was born. When I divorced, where husband has gone. I don't have to kill the wife. So, with reference to the world, the spiritual practice will be what it is like being space. With reference to the mind, the spiritual practice will be what it is like being mind space. No relation should disturb us. Yatro mitre putre bando ma kuru yatnam vigra. को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो. Don't create friends and enemies. And then we come to the third space, the conscious space. So what will be the spiritual practice in conscious space? Karnataka. Wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are, be 100%. But don't get so much entangled in that we forget to play our next role. This is the way we have to learn from our day-to-day experiences. बाल्यादिषु जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वासवस्थास्वपि then vyavritta swanuvartamanam ityanta spurantam sada. And when we are in these experiences, everywhere one aham is produced. In the waking, one aham. And with the relations, multiple ahams. In the dream, another aham. Waker never dreams. Waker never goes to dream. Aham intanda spurantam sada. Again and again the same thing. And then what happens? If you take a garland, we can discuss and talk about the garland. Oh, very beautiful, very long, very nice. Then you cut the thread and separate the flowers and the thread. Everything is there. Where the garland has gone? Nowhere. Garland is only an appearance, not the reality. If there are many flowers, very long garland. If few flowers, small garland. Old people have got long garland. Every day is a fool. Flower. So if somebody is 78 not out, big garland. And then he has to carry the burden of that garland. In Ghatkopar in India, there are some functions. They just called Swamiji, you have to please come, don't say no. We are called minister, we are told that you are coming and all that thing. Please don't say no, no, no. So I had to listen to everybody. I am the most obedient. I said, okay, but look here, I'll come and light the lamp and go, okay? It's okay. So all people, then everybody was to be garlanded, so they garlanded me also. And thereafter, Swamiji, please light the lamp. I said, may I say something? Yes. I said, you are lucky to get Minister Saab for such a wonderful function. He will be an asset to the whole world. And then I took out my garland and put in his neck. My garland was having all the specimens of the ants, red, green, yellow. I put it there and went away. That is the reason I don't allow anybody to put garland. In America, what they do, they recycle. The same garland you take out, they don't throw it. It goes in a pack nicely, good, freeze. And next day again, microwave and garam garam. Now this garland we talk about where it is. It has no existence. Similarly, if you ask something for a child to talk, 5 years, 3 years, very few flowers, nothing to talk. You ask an oldie, Don't ask. You will regret for your mistake. Start. Observe this day to day. Suppose I am talking to her that, when we went for that retreat, it was such a lovely place. She will cut my tongue and she'll start. Swamiji, in our retreat, do you remember who asked you? See, now why? What is the principle? Principle is every one of us have got a similar kind of experience somewhere or the other in our life. And then we want to get involved in the discussions and therefore we start. Stop that. When you remain in the utter present, you are zero ego. And to remain in utter present, two techniques I told you. Stop talking to yourself and listen to silence. This happens only because we are too much involved in the world and in our family matters. I agree, you are all grasta, you should have your wives and children, whatever it is. But once we are committed to a place only for satsanga, our home old state, my husband, my wife, my children, my grandchildren, my office, stop that. Then talk about Alaska. Alaska, were they Maharashtrians? Alaska means when somebody came from here to Pune. This can happen only in Pune. Alaska, oh. Now in this you don't create sin or merit, only time pass. Therefore, Svatmanam Vyavrutta Sanuvartamanam Aha Nityanta Spurantam Sada. So what is this garland? Garland is the every flower is aham, 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 aham. When I was child, who asked me? Old people have no future. Now I am old. Now what future I have? Then what will I do? मुर्दे उखाड़ो दिखाओ ये मेरा मुर्दा कैसा लगता है हाँ बड़ा सुगंध है recognize these friends otherwise the same old stuff again and again. These are the things to be very consciously observed. When we talk to others, we talk about our past. When we talk to ourselves, we talk about the future. यहाँ से जाने के बाद tomorrow morning I have to take the flight 6 o'clock flight so I'll have to go there about here ब्रह्म ही देखे यार म्यूजिक सुन friends. Then Svatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. Bhajatam. He who is thus doing the bhajan of his own divine self. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja. 3 times Bhaja. आलू के भजे मिर्ची के प्याज के भजा 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 this root has got 3 meanings. With the body bhaja sevayam, engage the body for serving others. Then bhaja bhajan karo. Instead of talking about our past or somebody else's past or future, chant the Lord's name. And bhaja with the mind, remain contemplative and learn from every experience of life. bhajatam. So he who is thus engaged in this way, then how does he swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya? We told you first day only, bhadra mudra is this mudra. We have to get rid of our association with mind, the prana, and the body. Getting freedom from the association with the mind is there will be joy, there will be sorrows, but don't become joyful and sorrowful to such an extent that we lose our senses or we lose our balance. No. Then association with the prana is discarded, then eat whatever comes in our life through our sense organs. Eating doesn't mean only by the tongue. No. We eat by 5 sense organs. Then the third, Bhadraya, Mudraya, now body, body, body. The same thing again and again. So these 3 things one has to separate oneself. Now, if we are practicing this, what will happen? First of all, we will not talk about our relation with reference to body. Second thing, we will not talk about our experiences in various places that happened. And third will be, we will not talk about our joys and sorrows in life. One boy asked me this question. Swamiji, I am very much influenced by your talks. I told him, I am so sorry. He said, no, now I am confused. I said, my approach is like that in life. Either confuse or convince. If you are convinced, you will change. If you are confused, that is kind of a vaccination. It will start working on you. So you tell me whether I should follow the routine path of grahastha or I should follow the path of sannyasa. I told him, follow the path of grahastha. You tell so clearly, so easily. When I asked some people, they told me the plus minus points of both the things. You didn't tell anything straight away. Get married. Why? I said those who follow the path of sannyasa, they don't collect opinion. Kya karu yaar? And then thereafter blame others. देखो तुमने मुझे सन्यासी बनाया. See friends, we don't have confidence what we have to do. Such people are good to be married. Therefore, the world is divided into two. This I learned in London. After my retreat, one British old fellow, he used to tell, Mr. Swami, if I lie down and do meditation, I said, no problem. So he used to lie down and we used to do meditation. And it was a sound meditation. But my principle is don't get disturbed. Why should I get disturbed? So he asked me, lying down only, Mr. Swami, you are not married. I kept quiet. Then he said, after all, happiness is not everything in life. Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. On the spiritual practice is rise above the body identification, the prana and the mind. Rising above the mind is when joys come, don't become so excited and happy that you get a heart attack. Or when the miseries come, don't become so miserable and depressed that you commit suicide. No. Similarly, with the pranamaya kosha. Whatever is needed for our body, that God gives. If you require sattvic food, you get the sattvic food. These are the technical terms. And the food is only sattvic. There is no another suitable word for this. Similarly, when we are at the body level, yes, body will have some problem. If a body doesn't have any problem, then it is a dead body. So if we don't have body problem, what poor doctors will do? You will go to mental hospital. Therefore, he who has created the doctors, he has to create the patients also. See, Bhagwan ki parishani. Therefore, Svatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. In this knowledge, in this experience, he who manifests in the heart of the seeker, he is Dakshinamurti. Therefore, allow the divine to express through us. Let us be such a fit instrument that he will select us. Therefore, the other day I told you, don't seek God, let him seek you. Really, idea is good. But then, reservation quota? No. No, but we are married. Married people have got this funny notion. If they are married, that is something great achievement. Therefore, Swatmanam prakati karoti bhajatam yo mudraya vadraya. Such a person becomes an instrument through which the divine expresses. Who is a Mahatma? He from whom Paramatma expresses is Mahatma. He from whom or through whom Jivatma expresses is CH Atma. You know CH Atma? Jago Rajakumari. She will sleep. Therefore, Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. Continuing further in the 8th mantra. विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामी संबंधतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राध्यात्मना भेदतः पितृपुत्राध्यात्मना भेदतः. There should be dya is missing there. स्वप्ने जागृति वाय एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः. श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. How the world is created is particularly addressed to the intellectuals. Intellectuals are lost in cause and effect. Vishwam pashyati karya karanataya. Cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. And cause and effect is an illusion. Karya karana mithya. One digital child was scolded by the chat GPT. I gave you birth and you behave like this with me? Now the child said, Dad, enough is enough. Who told you you gave me birth? Now he started missing his heartbeat. Now what is coming? We don't know. Then he said, who called you dad before my birth? Therefore, I am your father. So, because of the father, the son is there. Because of the son, the father is there. So, who is the cause and who is the effect? The truth is, uncreated, therefore no cause. Okay? न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. The truth that is neither created nor creates anything. That which has a beginning only has an end. Now apply this principle on ourselves. Beginning means, do we know our date of birth? Of course we know. In one village somewhere in Maharashtra, so when the students were to be addressed in one class only, class 7 or 8, and they were so different age groups, I could see that, hey, they are different age groups. No, no, they are same age group. I said, let me see your register. All of them had the same date of birth, 1/4 something, 1/4 something. How come everybody like that? He said, the children were brought to, so that Guruji, आप लिख लो जो चाहिए. अरे! So we don't have the experience of our birth. We don't have the experience of growth. We don't have the experience of death. Meaning, Anadi, no experience of birth. Ananta, no experience of death. And Avikari, no experience of modification. And yet we keep on telling, when I was born. In the worldly thing, you have to say that. But don't take it really seriously. Therefore, Karya Karanataya, cause and effect is an illusion. And because of this cause and effect, what are the things created in this world? Karya Karanataya, Swami Sambandhataha, relationship between the boss and the subordinate, relation between the husband and the wife. One husband was telling me before his wife, Swamiji, please tell her, at least keeping my age in view, she should respect me. I said, I take her side, not yours. Why? She gives me food, you don't give me. Then why so? Look here. Did you get married one after another or got married together? Or we got together married. So problem is not between the man and the woman. Problem is between the husband and the wife. So the age of the husband and wife is always the same. Then I told, what is your anniversary? He said, Swami, 50 years. I said, 4 years suffer. After that, everything will be all. Say, why 4 years? You will be 19. Now you are a teenage, 15. So teenagers always fight. When you are 19 years, you will be old. Then you will know it is easier to deal with the known enemy than to deal with the unknown friend. Time pass करो. कार्य कारणतया. Friends. Therefore, the scientific approach about the world is only based on karya karanataya. Keep on imagining. And investigation in the space. There are so many galaxies and those northern lights, they come and go. What is that? But where it is all, it is in the space. And what is the space? Think, what is the space? Where everything exists. Space is projection of the mind. When the mind is enfolded and kept below the pillow, and we start declaring our happiness, krr, krr. That time, where are we? Space gone. When are we? Time gone. What are we? Object gone. We have seen बीजस्यांतरिवांकुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पित देश काल कलना वैचित्र चित्रीकृतम. Maya kalpita is only the projection by the mind. Therefore, whole world is only in the mind. And what is the mind? Manasam tu kim margane krute. When you inquire, naiva manasam. There is nothing like mind. Friends, when our understanding becomes clear on the basis of our analysis of our experiences in the light of the scriptural authority, then only we are walking spiritual path. So, karya karanataya swami sambandhataha, I am boss, you are subordinate. This knowledge I got from one driver. There was one director of a institution with whom I was going. We were sitting on the back side, driver was driving. In Delhi it happened. The director must have come there by quota system. And just to impress on me, he was scolding the driver every now and then. A very rough language. अरे बेवकूफ ठीक से चला. Once, twice, thrice. Ultimately, he was very cool. He did not reply one word. He just parked the car. And he came out of the car. He said, "Sir, you are a government servant. I am a government servant. It is by God's will. Today you are a director and I am a driver. Once you retire, once I retire, what is the difference between you and me? किसकी गर्मी है आपको? Even the driver can understand. So driver is the subordinate and the director is the boss. Karya karanataya. This is how when we live in our life with this relational way, we create unwanted differences. Similarly, Shishyacharyataya. I am Guru, you are disciple. I am Guru, you are disciple. See, friends, therefore, be a friend to a friend. Otherwise, Guru Maharaj आ गए, तूफान आ गए क्या? See, therefore, please remember this thing. Don't hang your Guru on the wall. वही रहो, इधर मत आना. Let him manifest in our heart. And the manifestation of the Guru in our heart is we are able to learn from every passing experience of our life. Guru cannot teach. We have to learn. That learning ability is Guru. When they talk about the Bhagavad Mahapuran in the 11th canto, there Dattatreya Bhagwan tells, I have learnt all this thing from my Guru. Who is your Guru? He said, एक थोड़ी है, 2 dozen है. And he tells, from the space I learned this thing, from the air I learned this thing, from the fire I learned this thing. 24 of them. Meaning what he meant there? What he meant is that he has learned. So our learning ability is the Guru. See, friends. And then you learn from anything, anybody. Like this light is illuminating everything, whether it's a discourse or a disco, or there is nothing. It makes no difference. So what we have to learn, illuminator is not influenced by what is illumined. Learn. So apply it now. Eyes are illuminating all colors and forms. Colors and forms do not influence the vision. Objects are illumined by the respective sense organs. Objects cannot influence the sense organs. So we are no more slaves of the objective world. Once we are convinced of this, we will come to know that it is only the wrong notions which is the major cause of our miseries in life. Wrong notions about ourselves, about the world, about God, about spiritual practice, and about realization. These wrong notions must be dropped. Therefore, first, one of the wrong notion is this karya karanataya, shishyacharyataya. Then, तथा एव पितृपुत्र आदि आत्मना भेदतः. Similarly, the father and the son and all that. Whenever elderly people demand respect, they do not command. Respect, we have to command. आजकल के बच्चे बड़ों को आदर नहीं करते. So tell me, we are all grown-ups. What is our contribution so that our age is growing? Every day you get up and pump air or what? It is the poor earth running around the sun, and we add one more year. And she is so tired. A happy birthday to you. What for happy birthday? मैं तक गई हूँ. See friends. Therefore, Pitru, Pita, Mata, it's all right. Relationally, Karnataka. Let there be no regrets. And when it is happening, Swapne Jagrati Va Esha Purushaha Maya Paribhramitaha. And this is not only waking but dream also the same thing. Maya Paribhramitaha. Deluded under the influence of the knowledge and experiences gathered through sense organs, mind and intellect. Maya Paribhramita means Maya miyate anaya yasa Maya. The measured knowledge is Maya. Like our eyes can see only between the violet and the red. And if we insist that only these many colors, there are no more colors than this thing, then we are under the influence of Maya. Again and again, we have to recognize that all the knowledge gathered through sense organs, mind, and intellect is either objective or imaginary or conceptual. Through sense organs, only 5 types of knowledges are possible: Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. There is no sixth object in this world. Through the mind, only 2 types of experiences: joy and sorrows. There is no third experience. Through the intellect, all concepts. The truth is neither an object, nor joy or sorrows, nor a concept. And therefore, intellectuals are expert in conceptualizing. And the more you conceive these concepts, then we think, oh, he's very intelligent. Getting lost only in conceptualization. Friends, slowly and steadily, we will be able to rise above the influence of sense organs, mind and intellect. Then how we will live? Like we play with kids. You must have seen. I am always amazed to see how this happens and there is no logic. A small child, maybe 6 months or 8 months like that. The elderly people, Dada, Dadi, Nana, Nani, if you see how they talk to the child in that child's beta. So I always get this feeling whether the elderly people are playing with the child or the child is playing with the elderly people. Fun in this world. Get too much involved, too much involved. And then, do you know, he smiled at me. Why? Everybody looks at me. Everybody laughs at you. Why smiling? He friends. He recognizes me. You know some? He recognizes me. Very intelligent. So, Sapne Jagrati Vaya Esha Purushaha. And this is the story in waking as well as dream and everywhere. Waking experience and dream experiences, they are 100% same. Both experiences are on the platform of mind. But waking experiences by the mind we take real. And the dream experiences by the same mind we take unreal. Therefore, we write an autobiography of a waker. We don't write autobiography of a dreamer. Either write autobiography of a dreamer or don't write the autobiography of a waker. There is one yogi, I don't know, still they are very old. Last time when I met in India, he was, I think, 94, 95. So, my talks used to be there in the Somaya College in the morning, 7 to 8. Then from 8:15 to 9:15 was his yoga. He was a yogacharya. So we used to get 15 minutes in between, sit together and talk. So one day he told me, Swamiji, I have learned that I can go back in my life and I can trace who was I. And he told, in the last life I was in Dehradun, in such and such family. Before that I was in Jabalpur. Like that, I trace up to 7 generations. And you know, in the 7th generation, what I was? I was a parrot. Then he told me, Swamiji, I can do it for you, but if you want. I said, no, I also know. What? In the last life, I was a donkey. Now also I am a donkey. See, friends, we are unable to drop our individuality. Nothing to talk about. Now, why this is told in our scripture? Just to, the purpose of telling is to bring to our notice we are someone other than the body. That is the only purpose. Not to send us to hell or heaven. When we accept theoretically that I am someone other than the body, then only your investigation, inquiry will kindle. As a body, I have no doubt. I am man, I am woman, I am young, I am old, I am beautiful, I am awful. Where is the problem? The problem will come if I am not body, if I am embodied, then who am I? With the body, I know what I am. But what is required is who am I? What I am, a miserable husband, wife, brother, father. That we know. For that, no spiritual practice is required. Friends. Therefore, sapne jagrati vaya esha purushaha maya paribhramitaha tasmai shri gurumurtaye namaidam Dakshinamoorti. So Maya Paribhramita means when we are under the undue influence and unwanted involvement with time, space, and object, we are in the Maya. First step, we have to come to recognize everything happens only in the mind. Nothing happens to the world, nothing happens to our body. And in that mind also it happens according to the training to the mind. If we are trained right from childhood, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. One girl from UP or UP probably, she got married to one Gujarati and they were in Canada. So I happened to be there. So he said, Swamiji, you know Hindi, no? I said, yes. See, my problem is, um, my husband is Gujarati. The biggest problem. He said, no, 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 not that way. Problem is, in their house, all the time, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna. And right from childhood, my training is Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. So when I stand in front of Bhagavan Krishna in our house, only Jai Shri Ram comes out. Jai Shri Krishna doesn't come out. What should I do? I say, you don't worry, let him worry. You relax. how unnecessarily we get disturbed. Therefore, let us understand everything is happening only in the mind. Mind your mind, you have learned a great and done a great favor to yourself. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.